Hey friends, so welcome to DBC Live. I know we took off last week, so we're so happy to join you again this Thursday. Missed you all, and I am super happy to have Liz on the show with me today. Welcome, Liz.
Hello, Tara. It's so great to be back here with you again and just being able to chat and connect.
I love having you on the show for sure. I feel like we always say, "Oh, well, we have enough stuff to talk about," and then we end up talking too long. So we're when we get together, we just have a lot of things in common.
We sure do. From dogs to working out to writing, I feel like we could just chat up a storm.
For sure, for sure. I can't wait to see you again. I know last time we were planning a big um, time at ISTE. We were planning to work out and hang out and all the things. And so, yeah, it's going to be awesome. And you'll be in ISTE this year, right?
Yes, yes. So, yeah, last time we had quite a plan. But yeah, I'll be at ISTE. I know you're road tripping to ISTE, so I'll see you there too. So that's exciting.
It'll be fun. Tish is going to come fly to Kansas and give me some company on that road trip. And I think it'll just be so much fun to get there and visit with all of you and get all of our DBC brothers and sisters and Impress and Ditch Book, all of us together in one place at one time, at least throughout the conference. So pretty pumped about that. And Liz, every Thursday we have this show and we love just to share things that we think teachers can just take and use with their students, or even administrators can use with their staff, like however that might look, where people can use the content with their learners, those that they serve. But before we dive into that, because I know we're going to, somebody in the comments is going to win a Take the Leap book. And so it can't be Dave. He has already got one. So it needs to be one of the rest of you out there. So please do tell us, hey, Nick, welcome. Please do tell us who you are, what you do. Tell us something good that's happened this week that you're excited about. Maybe you're on summer vacation. Tell us what adult beverage you're partaking at this moment. Any of that works over in the comment section, because every single comment will enter you to win a Take the Leap book. So Liz, I know they're just dying, if they don't already know and haven't already bought the Take the Leap book, they're dying to know what is in there. Tell us a little bit, just a brief summary about what is Take the Leap and why did you choose to write that book? What do you hope the readers will gain from it?
Absolutely. Like many other educators, I was struggling with some parts and aspects of education and also just finding my own joy in teaching, like what I thought it was going to be like, then what it actually felt like. And so I authored Take the Leap because I just really saw an opportunity to be able to share with educators on some of the things that worked for me and other educators that I've connected with too, because I share a lot from other people. And so ultimately, it's an acronym. This stands for fostering a luminous culture, empowering learning, creating authentic learning opportunities so that both teachers and their students can reach their full potential. And really, that's what it's all about, right? It's about creating those opportunities in our classroom that are student-centered, so that our students have those opportunities to grow and share their voice and just be able to be in touch with things that interest them. So that's a little bit of what we're going to look at tonight too.
Yay. So it's perfect. I knew you were going to be tying it into Take the Leap, because that is your heart's message. And I love that so much. Super excited to have all of you that have joined in. Lisa, looks like you are on a summer break. Congratulations. Do enjoy some summertime for me, for sure. It's going to be a busy summer. It's opposite for publishing company. Coming out of the educational system, summer is actually really busy. It's most of the manuscripts are finishing up. Educators are off. All their writing creativity is like full on, so Dave and our team is so busy in the summer, but we love it so much because we're able to produce wonderful PD books like Take the Leap out there for educators that we can release in the fall when you guys are ready to take in some knowledge and put it into your classroom. So 11 more days, Kristen, you got this. Hang in there. You can hold a bear that long. That's what I tell everybody when it's just a short amount of time. I don't know if you can hold a bear for 11 days, but I feel confident you probably could. So Liz, tell us a little bit about what you want to share tonight. And friends, as you are listening, please do share some what you're thinking. As Liz is sharing, have you tried this before? Do you have another idea of how that could be tweaked and used it for your learners? Just, you're our amen corner over there, and every single comment is a better chance for you to win the book. So put it over there. I love this, and Nick, dancing in the park sounds amazing. It sounds like right up my alley. So Liz, take it away. We cannot wait to learn from you.
Okay, sounds good. And now I can screen share too.
Let's try it real quick, and I'll get it up here.
Okay.
As you're sharing, I will chat it up a little bit. Over here, we have a field trip next Tuesday for Kristen. And thanks to the brilliant idea. Oh, awesome. Sean is usually in our lives, so that's really fun. So as soon as I see Liz, your screen pop up on this side, I'll end up sharing it. So you just let me know when you're ready. And in the meantime, tell us a little bit of some good stuff that's happened over here. And Nick, we have a Nick dancing in the park. First field trip since the beginning of COVID. That's awesome. It just seems like COVID has just lasted so much longer than we planned. I remember when we first started talking about COVID, I was like, oh, that'll be over in no time. And then longer and longer. And now 2 years later, we're still talking about it. It was funny because Dee and I were watching a show the other night, and they were talking about the pandemic. And I'm like, oh goodness, is this going to be this is going to be a landmark now? Like scripts, shows are like writing this in their script now. Pretty awesome. So Liz, how are we coming on that share screen?
It's not coming. So we're going to have to probably go through a workaround. So I'm following directions from StreamYard, but it's not letting me go through and share. So
okay. If you want to email it to me, I can always try it that way.
You know what? Let's try that.
Yeah, no problem.
Sure thing. So I'm going to actually send you the link.
Perfect.
And we can roll.
You can also send it in the private chat.
Right. Yep, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody's patience. As anything else with technology, you just never know how it'll roll. So we just keep going with it. But I really love hearing, Tara, I have to comment on the bear comma. I have never heard that saying, but I am storing that one away because I love it. That's hysterical.
I love it too. I tell Dave that all the time. Ask him. I'm always like, oh, bud, you can hold a bear that long. You got this.
Great to just be able to hear a little, and you can hit use template right on there.
Okay.
And it'll open it right up.
Oh, did it open up for you?
Well, it's on the screen. There's some lines over it, but that's okay.
You may go to present.
Yeah, just go to present. So guys, it's going to come up a little wacky looking with some of the covers on it, just because I'm sharing it as a template through a Canva account. And so if you're not logged in right away to either a pro account or an educator account, you're going to get these watermarks on it. If you have an educator account, you can access anything on Canva for Education for free. So I'm going to just share a couple of templates today. So just ignore any of the watermarks. I also do a little learning consulting with Canva. So I'm going to share a couple things regarding Canva today. It's going to be a little bit modified because Tara is going to share the screen, but I'm going to share the activities out with you. The same link that Tara has right now, I'm actually going to share with everybody. So if I put this in the comments, it's actually, I'm going to put that in the comments in just a bit. So everybody's going to get access to the same template. So if you want to use it, you can. And the other great piece is that if you don't love it and you want to change the colors, everything's customizable and you get to change it. So what I love to do is take the work that I do, which is creating empowered and authentic learning opportunities so our students can reach their full potential and ultimately bring joy into the classroom. So here are some activities that I'm just going to share with you that are real quick. It's not necessarily something I invented, but these are things that I often utilize. So this one here I did create. This is just, I love doing open-ended things with students. So if you have students in the classroom right now, this is something you could do, great end of the year activities. You can tie it into any content, but also if you're like on summer break, like Kristen, I think has said she had 11 days. So if somebody else is on summer break, store this away and use it next year. So let's keep, Tara, if you don't mind, would you scroll through to the next one? And this is just a slight variation. We have the answer could be. And I think this one came up because on Twitter originally I had the question could be, and then somebody said, what about the answer could be? So I'm like, all right, let's add another template in here. Yeah, it was a Nick. So yes, I'm glad she wrote that in there. So yeah, so a Nick had put that in there. So I created one just for her, and she's like, I can make one. I'm like, nope, I'll make it for you. So we'll keep moving through those. And I'm so sorry mine is not screen.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. It gives me something to do.
Yay, we're working, collaborating, right? And so on this one, so these are actually visible thinking strategies. I didn't invent this, so I did link the source on the bottom of these slides. And what I love about this source here is that when you click that link, because I'm going to provide you this template, you're going to also see tons of other activities. And what I'm doing is taking some of these visible thinking activities that I've used in the classroom over the years, but I also use them within professional development with teachers, because my role now that I work in, I work directly with teachers and I go into classrooms, I model, support, and do more of that instructional coaching with technology integration. And then when I'm working with Canva, I also get to do professional development with teachers. But what's been amazing is that I've also been able to go virtually into classrooms. And Jennifer Casa-Todd and I recently just connected up in Canada, and I worked with a group of seniors there on creating documentaries, which was awesome. So back to this document though. You're going to have lots of different activities in here, but what I love about these is they really can get kids thinking. So on this one, it's a think, puzzle, explore activity. And what we recommend is it could be anything. You could tie this with young kids. It could be a picture. You could be going outside in nature, go outside on a discovery walk. But you could also take it with a close reading passage, for example, or maybe you're doing something within history with students at the upper levels. And just have them go through within this document, and in each of the puzzle pieces, they can jot down what do they think, what puzzles you, and what do you explore. And then the next step would really be getting into some conversation on that. So you can go on to the next one. So I'm just going to share a couple activities. I think the last time I was on, I may have talked about See, Think, Wonder. It really is one of my favorites. So I'm going to use it again. I use it in a lot of my PDs. I have a video of kids that work, like it shows them using iPads in the classroom. And I love using it with teachers because it shows the kids so actively engaged with the technology and independent. But the drawback of the video, but it's actually a benefit for me for my talking point. But the point of the video is that it shows the kids working independently, they're empowered. But then when I turn it to the teachers and we do a See, Think, Wonder, I always hear, but the kids were on the technology so much, like they weren't engaging with each other. And so that is a great discussion point that we can have technology and we can use it to enhance learning, but it doesn't need to hinder student communication, right? So then that's part of what I work with teachers on, and how we can incorporate technology so that the students aren't just passively consuming technology the whole time. So, and Tara, I'm sure you've done some of these activities like this before with people that you've worked with likewise. So just good to do anything where you can get people, digging a little deeper, thinking critically, and then engaging in conversation.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the puzzle piece idea too, because I could also see it like, I could see if people did want to take the template and just cut the puzzle pieces out and just hold them, right? Kids could just hold their piece, and then whoever gets to say, then they put the puzzle together. I mean, like you could even take this to just no tech if you wanted to, the template. But I love the idea of like being able to do that inside the template, share your ideas with others. And also I feel like one of the things I often think about when I see stuff like this too is with like in book snaps, for example, like we do like a Google slide of book snaps and everybody puts in a book snap for a passage. Say we're all looking at the same picture, See, Think, Wonder, and I'm in a group, but there's multiple different groups. What if we were able to take and capture what they came up with and scroll on the big screen in front of the whole class so everybody can see what everyone saw, thought, and wondered? I mean, it's just so great to be able to respect all the different viewpoints from our peers. And I think this would be a really cool way to draw it out and be able to share it that way.
And the fact that it's great that you can use it with kids of any grade level.
Of course. Yeah.
Sure. Modifications and adjustments. And I love the idea of having the actual like puzzle pieces in your hands. And even doing like a four corners of the room with the different pieces where people kind of come together and like, okay, this is what I was thinking. This is, and having that talk, and maybe even doing like form of a jigsaw similarly where you bring different kids together. So
Oh,
I just
cool.
think about the deep conversations that could be had. And speaking of, you were talking about book snaps. I was just talking about book snaps today in the classroom. So
Awesome. That always makes my heart smile for sure.
yeah, yep.
Do you have any click to the next one?
Yeah, go on to the next one. And this is one of my favorites, and it's one that I hadn't used before, so I just have added in here. This one's called Outside In. So in Take the Leap, one of the things that I hit on in this book is the fact that all too often, and I'm going to speak to this as a parent myself, we have our oldest is a senior in high school, and our youngest is 15, and our oldest is 17, but he's graduating. Just based on when he started school, he's done with high school and moving on to college. And so it's just amazing how so many people are like, what is your kiddo doing? What's his future? And fortunately for him, he knows what he wants to go into, but we all know that might change. But there's so many times that we even ask kids when they're younger, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? And oftentimes they don't always know. And so it's really about helping kids connect with their interests. And I think that's why gosh, I don't even know, maybe 5 or more years ago, I became really big into maker education and learning about genius time, 20% time, passion projects. In my class, we called it passion projects, and we would incorporate it in makerspace. And what I loved about that is that the kids could start developing their interests. Similarly, I can't even quote the article at the moment, but there was research done that a lot of times kids don't even know what they're passionate about unless they've explored those interests. So it's just so important that our kids had that time to dig in and say, what am I interested in? And then for us in our schools, and I'm going to acknowledge, I know that there's the constraint of time. Those things are always going to exist, but we can get creative with that. Like for me, it was the first 15, 20 minutes of the day. And in some cases, it might be 20 minutes somewhere within the week. So just looking at those opportunities. Sometimes in our class too, we would even take just a pure section of part of lunch, and we would take certain groups of students at a time. But what we wanted to do is really help the kids by just exposing them to different interests. So in our makerspace, instead of just having one big makerspace, there were sections of it. So it was art related or science related. And clearly they're all interconnected. But it was just a really great way for the kids to start making connections, which leads me to just this topic here, this activity. But I love this because on the one side, kids are encouraged to just start listing what are their hobbies, what are their interests. And sometimes it might be something they're not sure of yet, but it's something, this is an activity they can come back to at a later time. And then in the other sticky note here, we have just listing what topics do you explore in school, what subjects, and obviously we want to be looking at like what really kind of strikes your interest here. And then they can draw a line to connect them. And so the goal with this activity is for the students to be able to develop 1 or 2 connections. For example, some people might think, I love working with animals. Well, where does that relate in school? Could it be education and training, or could the loving animals have to do with more helping them? Is it helping? Is it medical related? Is it systems based? And so just looking at those connections for kids, because a lot of times they go through school and they don't always know. They might be taking a science course, but they don't know that their passion may lie within that course unless they really tap into that. So just helping them make those connections is helpful. And just being able to share. And then, of course, coming back to it throughout the school year. But I just think that's a really cool way. And it's, not just jotting it down, but having the discussions. And then the 4th step here is investigating and expanding on that connection, really diving in. Now, all of these templates, and we're going to share this link in the chat. And Tara, if you want to take that, I don't know that I can drop it in the chat myself right now.
I can do it.
But people can access that. Now, if you have an educator account with Canva, and if you don't, you can sign up for one. Sometimes it takes a few days for Canva to recognize that this is an educator account and then verify it. But you will have everything from a pro Canva account for free as an educator. And you can take anything in here. You can modify it and change it. You're going to take this template and it becomes your own, which is really great. And what I love about these templates too is that the kids, they can use the draw tool within Canva. You could have multiple students collaborating on any one of these slides. So I wanted this to be something where we kind of share some strategies and talk about them. Yay, Tisha. And also just be able so that you guys have something that you can walk away with today too. And then of course, click that link that takes you to the source of where I found some of these activities that I've been using for ages. And you can maybe even add on and create and share your own too.
Love that. I love all of them. This, I think it's so many, there's so many benefits to each one of them too, for the teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the collaboration between the peers and the students, but so much we can learn from our students. In my workshop, it's always called Real Engagement. It's always about seeing the person behind the content, seeing the person behind the activity, seeing the person behind the tech. And I feel like every single one of these fit really well into the real acronym as well, being able to very much see the learner and the way they're thinking and how they're connecting the content. And that is just so key for us as teachers. Not only does it draw the students into the learning, and you guys know this because I'm preaching to the choir, but also it just creates this culture of a welcoming culture where everyone feels like they belong there. Everyone feels like they're included. Everyone feels like their voice matters. And that's really what we want. That's really what kids want. And that's what we want as teachers. So love all of these templates, and you just did a fantastic job. I'm super duper excited. Oh no, Nick is jealous. Why are we jealous?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you have access to these templates, honey. You don't have to be jealous. It's right here.
So I did want to share too something regarding Canva and just these templates too, is that I was working with a class today. So as I mentioned, I get to push into classrooms both virtually and in person. And so today I was working with a group of fourth graders, and they were creating with the menu template in Canva, and they were creating menus for the restaurant, and it was connected with math and decimals. And it was the first time this class has used Canva, and the teacher is a little bit apprehensive, but they took right off and did an amazing job. But one thing that just kind of, this is what spurred the thought, Tara, because you're talking about seeing the learner and just really getting them to be excited about what they're doing. But once a few of the students are like, can we work on this at home? And that's what we want. We want our students to not be like, oh my gosh, is the bell going to ring at the end of the day? We don't want that. We want them to say, I want to work on this and do this at home. I want to create more. And so we had quite a few students who are like, can I use Canva at home? Can I log in at home? So the teacher took that moment and she's like, I'm going to use Remind right now and just send the link to the parents and let them know how their kids can log in. And so they can create, because we had one of the students, she's like, I can create a website and a t-shirt design. So it was just really exciting when you hear the kids be enthusiastic about creating and learning. So
and providing them a tool that they can do. Like those are the best words, right? Can I create from home, or do I have to go to recess? I love it when kids used to ask in elementary, do I have to go to, I'm like, yeah. We all need to go outside. Yeah. But then again, I'm like, you love this so much. Like you want to miss recess. That's incredible. So yes, there are unlimited possibilities. Thank you so much. Tish and Liz are your go-tos for Canva. If you're looking for ways to create in this platform, these two ladies are what I consider the Canva experts. They're the closest ones I know anyway. And so that's their role in my world. And so definitely check that out. They can use it on their phone. Yeah. Before you know it, they're making stuff to like promote their own brand. Right. And that's incredible that we're providing an opportunity for them to learn a platform that they will later use in their workplace potentially, or in their own world. That's just the best kind of learning that can happen. So thanks again for everyone that has joined us tonight. Liz, I know they're going to start creating, they're going to use these templates. They're going to be sharing them. They're going to want to tag you and show you all the fun things that are happening, or the learning that's happening while they're doing this over the summer. So how can they get in touch with you?
Probably one of the best ways is just through Twitter. I'm on Twitter quite a bit, but you can connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So it's at Elisabeth Bostwick. So half my first name, full last name. I like Tisha. A lot of the work that we do, it's all about creating and making in connection with the messages of our books too. And that's, it's always at the heart of everything I do, of take the leap. And I always want to support educators to look at how they can find ways in their classrooms to spark curiosity, creativity, and ultimately just empower learning. So thank you so much, Tara, for having me on.
Been so great. And remember, somebody is going to get chosen. Yeah, you're already following. Good. You're in the good, Kristen. So start sharing your content and tag us. So we are going to choose one of you to win the book. So definitely get your comments in over the comment section. Remember, we do allow comments to go way past the call tonight because we know a lot of people are putting their babies to bed, getting dinner ready, those kinds of things. So Claudie, it's okay that you're a little late. We're happy you're here. We're always happy anytime people can join in with us. Watch it on the playback, get some great ideas, and then share your thoughts as you are watching it on the playback. And those will also be entered to win. We will choose a winner tomorrow. And we just love having you every Thursday night. Like I said, I missed you last Thursday, missed everyone. But it was just one of those weeks where I didn't really feel like we had a lot to share in the light of the things that were happening. And so I just wanted to give that space, and I think it was well received, and we are back, and I'm super excited to be back with you tonight. So we'll be back next Thursday, same place, same time, different guests. And Liz, we are just so grateful to have you not only as a part of our author team. So if you are going to ISTE, find all of us. We will be there. We're going to be so pumped up. We'll be all over that hashtag, giving away books. We have so much fun stuff planned to share with all the people, all of you. So we do find us. These girls will be at the Canva booth some of the time, so you can find them there too in the vendor hall. So check that out. And in the meantime, follow us on Instagram, share your awesome creations. And Liz, thanks again for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
It was awesome. Bye, everyone. See you next week.